Hello, I'm Wayne Lambright, and the purpose of this video is to tell you about the end of the world. I have a collection of information over the last few months that has led me to the conclusion that the shit is about to hit the fan. So sit down, take off your tinfoil hat, grab yourself a drink, a pen and paper. I'm going to tell you some shit that might blow your mind. Number one, there is a planet called Nibiru, Planet X, Planet 9, the Red Dragon. It is visible now. There are videos surfacing all over the internet of a sun, kind of like the size of, it's a sun, it's a dwarf sun. So if this is our sun, there's another sun behind it, and they do this cattywampus elliptical bit. Basically, it comes by every 3,700 years. It is about to come into the path between the Earth and the Sun. It is 8 times larger than the Sun in mass. The Earth is 9,000 miles across. This is 41,000 miles across. And it's going to put a huge catastrophic strain on the Earth. This is the Earth's crust, okay? And this thing of salt is Nibiru. It's going to, when it's out here, it's going to pull. It's going to pull the crust out in wherever it's at. It's going to stretch it like that, okay? That's an earthquake. That's going to, the Earth is going to go from okay, so that represents the North Pole. When it's here, it's going to pull it. Sometimes there's more crust in other places, and it's going to make the Earth rotate on its axis. When it rotates off its axis, the bulge of water is going to move up. There's a bulge of water at the equator. That's going to create massive flooding. The U.S. Navy has made a map of what the flooding will look like. I drew a map. All right. Now, here's our solar system. All right, this is Planet X. This is us. All of our satellite, our solar system goes in this elliptical weird orbit, not a round one. It's a weird elliptical thing, because this counterbalances all these, all of our normal 8 planets. I'm just going to draw a new America. Hold on a sec. All right, here's USA. Maine, Florida, Texas, California, little Seattle. Clearly not the scale. Okay, so what's going to happen is Florida's going away and the whole East Coast underwater. A whole bay is going to come up in here, water. The whole coast, water. The Central America, or Central California, water. And what I haven't seen drawn is actually Yellowstone should drop and turn into a lake also, but the Navy didn't put that on their thing. Obama just signed an executive order for some earthquake U.S. preparedness, which is the legal framework for giving dollars to different agencies for earthquake spending. I think it's also a way to shield insurance companies from having to pay out on earthquakes, which is a way of fleecing the American public from getting paid. I didn't spend enough time on this document, but just in February they come out with a new document controlling how earthquakes are interpreted, and it has to do with money and federal standards. when they come out with these executive orders, it's about legal protection for things the government wants to get away with. That's how I see it. When was the time that the government did something that benefited the people, not corporations? Obama just did an executive order for the transition of the new government, the newly elected person. He didn't need to do this. There's been laws in place since 1963 where there's like, okay, you won the election, come on over, we'll show you the White House, we'll give you the heads up on where things are at, we'll introduce you to the people in the military and different stuff. But this new agreement says in there that they have to participate in interagency emergency planning, which I think is code word for false flags and Nibiru, or letting them know. I think what it's saying is within 6 months of November 6, because it's within 6 months, you have to be introduced to martial law, how that works and why we're doing it. Since I don't know when NASA has predicted Nibiru will hit, maybe a lot of people have said September. The majority said September. Maybe June 6 is the martial law time, when martial law is going to be enacted. Somebody said that if you hear there is a bug in the banking system and the banks will be closed all weekend, you have 72 hours to get out of town, because that's when martial law will start. Never in my life have I ever seen so much outrageous information that is cataclysmic. Something is going on. You even have military people talking about something going on, and they're not being told, but they're worried also. There's military guys talking about, well, I have to de-arm civilians. There was an executive order, I believe it's an executive order a year ago, that some military guys said that they had to sign it, that they are willing to shoot American citizens under order, which goes against the normal thinking. Why would you shoot American citizens? They've given legal framework for the United Nations to operate within the United States. The lady who was the director of Homeland Security, Janet Nepatino, retired, saying that a natural disaster the United States has never experienced, ever, she didn't say ever, but has never experienced, is about to happen, which leads me to believe meteor strikes and these massive earthquakes in Yellowstone. And she didn't want to deal with it, so she's out. Something is going on. There's also, this is deep conspiracy theory and conversation, that this is the last election America will ever have. I don't think we're going to have an election. I don't think it's going to happen. I think we'll be in martial law and elections will be suspended. In conclusion, the Planet X is going to create a global catastrophe that's going to rotate the Earth on its axis. It's going to change the bulge of water. It's going to flood certain areas. It's going to create tidal waves and massive destruction. It's going to kill 90% of the world's population that live on the coast. The governments are preparing for this. The governments have known about this for years. They're not telling us, and they're putting in the legal framework to make it all happen. So when, in a few years, the dust settles, the people still living are not going to be persecuted for knowing they were about to kill us. I know it's a doozy. I'm Wayne Lambright. Follow me, Wayne Lambright, on Twitter. Visit my website, lambright.com. I am bidding for President of the United States, and I know I have a very small chance of ever getting there. Do you know that there is actually a shadow government with its own Air Force, Army, and Navy? Very much CIA. They run America, not this political process you see. This is like a talent show for a TV show. This is all a way to keep the sheeple happy. And since my name's Lambright, maybe I should be the leader of the sheep. America's got a bright future. Lambright.